A complex and evolving geopolitical landscape is unfolding as the United States, Russia, and Iran engage in a high-stakes strategic interplay that is reshaping global power dynamics. Recent developments following the meeting between Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and Russian President Vladimir Putin suggest that the Iran crisis is entering a new and potentially narrative phase. Putin's indication that Russia could provide additional military support to Iran in the event of an escalation with the United States has heightened tensions and raised critical questions about the future trajectory of the conflict. Shortly after the Moscow meeting, Iran signaled a major policy shift by removing nuclear conditions from the negotiation table and hinting at the possibility of pursuing nuclear testing. This move reflects a broader strategic recalibration by Tehran, suggesting that it is no longer willing to rely solely on diplomatic engagement to secure its national interests. Instead, Iran appears increasingly inclined toward demonstrating its capabilities as a means of strengthening its negotiating position. At the same time, a significant development occurred when President Putin engaged in a phone conversation with former U.S. President Donald Trump. This interaction is widely interpreted as part of a broader effort to explore what is known in diplomatic terms as an off-ramp strategy. In international relations, an off-ramp refers to a pathway that allows conflicting parties to de-escalate tensions and exit a confrontation without losing face or strategic advantage. For Trump, the Iran crisis presents a delicate political challenge. While maintaining a tough public stance, there are growing indications that he is seeking a way to avoid a prolonged and costly conflict. A drawn-out war with Iran could have severe military, economic, and political consequences, potentially undermining his domestic standing and electoral prospects. As a result, Trump appears to be prioritizing a negotiated settlement that would allow him to claim diplomatic success without resorting to full-scale military engagement. From Russia's perspective, the off-ramp strategy is equally significant. Facing ongoing pressure from the conflict in Ukraine and the associated economic sanctions, Moscow has strong incentives to secure a favorable resolution that preserves its strategic interests. Analysts suggest that Russia may be willing to use its influence over Iran as a bargaining tool in negotiations with the United States. In exchange for concessions in Ukraine, Russia could potentially encourage Iran to adopt a more flexible stance on its nuclear program and regional activities. This triangular dynamic highlights the role of Iran as both a key player and a strategic bargaining chip in broader geopolitical negotiations. While Iran benefits from Russian support, it also faces the risk of becoming overly dependent on Moscow, which could limit its strategic autonomy. At the same time, Iran has contributed to Russia's war efforts by supplying drones and other military equipment, reinforcing the reciprocal nature of their relationship. China's position in this evolving scenario adds another layer of complexity. Although not directly involved in the immediate negotiations, China stands to gain significant strategic and economic advantages. As the United States becomes increasingly engaged in managing crises in the Middle East and Europe, China has greater freedom to expand its influence in the Asia-Pacific region, particularly in areas such as Taiwan and the South China Sea. Economically, China is well positioned to benefit from post-conflict reconstruction efforts in both Iran and Ukraine. Its investments in infrastructure and energy sectors could strengthen its long-term strategic position, while also supporting its broader initiatives such as the Belt and Road Initiative. This underscores China's role as a silent beneficiary of the shifting geopolitical landscape. Looking ahead, three primary scenarios emerge regarding the future of the Iran crisis. The first involves a successful agreement between Trump and Putin, leading to de-escalation in Iran, but potentially strengthening Russia's position in Ukraine. The second scenario envisions a breakdown in negotiations, resulting in intensified conflicts in both regions and raising the risk of a broader. The third and most likely scenario involves a partial or temporary agreement, creating a fragile equilibrium that delays but does not resolve underlying tensions. Each of these scenarios carries significant implications for global stability. A successful deal could provide short-term relief, but might come at the cost of long-term strategic imbalances. Conversely, a failure to reach an agreement could escalate tensions to unprecedented levels, increasing the likelihood of a wider conflict. The partial agreement scenario, while less dramatic, could entrench a state of prolonged uncertainty and periodic crises. In conclusion, the evolving off-ramp strategy between Trump and Putin reflects the complexities of modern geopolitics, where conflicts are rarely resolved through straightforward means. Instead, they involve intricate negotiations, shifting alliances, and calculated compromises. Iran's central role in this dynamic underscores its importance in shaping the future of regional and global order. As events continue to unfold, the decisions made by these key actors will have far-reaching consequences for international security and stability.